Okay. Dear participants, once again, if I am audible, I will start talking to you. If there are any hitches, please unmute and you can respond to me. Unless there is a response from your side, I will keep on talking alone. It will become a monologue. It will be waste of time, energy, and everything. Let it not happen. Let us continue with the topic, holistic and multidisciplinary education. So I have made an attempt to tell you precisely without using slides. I don't know to what extent it was effective. Despite of that, let me make an attempt to again fresh up towards the topic given to me. If you have any objections, any doubts, if you experience, take the liberty to raise questions. At the first instance, education is the deliberate and systematic influence exerted by the matured person upon an immature through instruction, discipline, and harmonious development of physical, intellectual, aesthetic, social, and spiritual powers of human beings according to an individual and his social needs that are directed towards the union of the educand with his creator at the final end. The creator means the nature. Therefore, here, education is a deliberate action of influencing on others, normally by a matured person on an immature youngster. When I say immature youngsters, keeping in mind the childish character of the students, therefore, teachers are presumed to be, are designated to be matured individuals who have to mold the personalities of the students and not necessarily only about the subject that he studies. It is also concerned with discipline, harmonious development of physical, intellectual, aesthetic, social, and spiritual dimensions of an individual. That was the definition given by Reddins. Along with that, even Mahatma Gandhi used to say that the all-round development and drawing out the best in the child's mind, body, and the spirit is the objective of education. And education is the most powerful tool of social transformation. I have already mentioned it to you. Further, education is broadly concerned with building human character and capabilities that enables the realization of full potential of oneself and the civilization. See here, full potential of the individual and the civilization is the objective of education. Civilization means it is the social development that happened over a period of time. Every one of us are experiencing different levels of development of the civilization. As such, education is concerned with building the human character and capabilities. Education is equal to character plus capability. This capability comes out of ability of the person to rise to the occasion. That is what I said in the earlier interaction. Capability is made up of three things. One is the knowledge, other one is the attitude, and the third one is the skill. Education is to provide an induction into a balanced, inclusive, and comprehensive world with a view that will serve a cause including but beyond personal life. The objective of education is to induct the person into a balanced, inclusive, and comprehensive world. It is not only concerned with the personal development of the individual or the student, it is for the overall development of the society or the community where the individual lives. Further, What do we expect from education? Education, as I was telling, it is made up of three things: knowledge, attitude, and skill. Knowledge is the awareness of an individual about his surrounding. Knowledge can be broadly classified into different types, namely explicit knowledge, that is what you know about the world, what you know about your surrounding, and what you can speak about it. Implicit knowledge, that you need not have to study, you need not have to remember, but naturally it happens. And tacit knowledge, that is the knowledge that is required for handling, reacting to situational pressures. Procedural knowledge, what is to be done first and then followed by that step-by-step type of activities. Declarative knowledge and posteriori knowledge and priori knowledge means posteriori means afterwards, before priori means before knowing what it was. Different types of knowledge can be attributed, and I'm not going to elaborate on that because we discussed about knowledge earlier. Along with that, attitude, as I was telling, attitude is the mental predisposition of an individual that makes him to act in a particular way, that makes him preparedness to positively or negatively respond to an event, an individual, or an issue. There are three components in this attitude, in any attitude of the people, namely cognitive component, behavioral or affective component, and the action component. Cognitive component speaks about the individual's understanding or the knowledge level based on his perception, ideas, beliefs about the subject. And the affective component speaks about the individual's feeling and emotions related to that issue. And the behavioral concept makes him to act or not to act in a particular way. Therefore, you can consider these three as the knowledge component. Cognitive component is the knowledge component, affective component is the emotion component, and the behavioral component is the action component. Attitudes are made up of these three issues. Followed by that, skill is also a part of education. What does skill means? I'm running through. Skill is the ability to use one's own knowledge effectively and readily in the execution or performance of something. It also includes dexterity or coordination, especially in the execution of learned physical tasks, how to use a tool, how to use a gadget, how to operate on a machine. That speaks about the use of hand, mind, and the body. That is called dexterity. Skill is a learned power of doing something competently. When you have learned something to do competently, that competence is called skill. It is developed. It is a developed aptitude or ability in terms of your ability to use a machine, equipment, or the language. Followed by this, skills, it is the ability to use one's own knowledge effectively and readily to do something. It is the dexterity to execute the learned physical task. That's what I said. Learned power to do something effectively. Therefore, it is the capacity of an individual to make use of the knowledge he has acquired in discharging or completing an assignment or a task. Let us go further from whatever we have discussed so far, dear friends. Don't be under the impression that I am running through and I am not reaching out. If I am not reaching, please take the liberty to make a note of it and question me, cross question. My intention is not just to complete the time, but my intention is to make a meaningful interaction with you. And I am also intended to know something more from you. Therefore, listen to me and respond to me, whatever you feel. Let us continue with our discussion. What are the expected outcomes of any education, both for the student and the community? At the first instance, an integrated social and academic maturity. Our education system, our education, whatever the type, ultimately must lead to an integrated social and academic maturity. Followed by that, it should instill curiosity and originality in the thinking of the people. Educated person must think differently. There must be a difference between an educated and uneducated. Educated is one who thinks with originality, creativity, and curiosity. And education is something that makes individual to go for lifelong learning through planning and prioritization. Learning never ends. Learning is a continuous process. As such, we have to learn throughout the life, but we should know what to learn first and what to learn later. Prioritizing learning. The objective of education is developing flexibility and creativity in problem solving. Problems are everywhere. What makes education meaningful is its support to the individual in solving the problem. Unless education helps an individual to solve his problem, personal problem, say for instance, starting from hunger, many a time we say any education that doesn't give food, that doesn't give the livelihood is meaningless. Education must help an individual solve his problem. Problem may be economic, social, political, spiritual, individual, etc. Education must help in developing interpersonal skill to develop, maintain, and value relationship. Relationship with the community, relationship with the society and the other colleagues, fellow citizens must be developed through education. Education must help you to have positive relations with the people around you. Education is to help the people to practice continuous improvement and high resilience. Resilience means your capacity to sustain and fight back. When there is a crisis, when there is a problem, how do you respond to that? And how do you sustain the pressure? An educated person must sustain the pressure and react to the problem in a different way. That is what resilience means, the ability to fight back and to develop effective communication. I summarize the objective of education. The expected results of education are all this. Please make a note of it, and if you have any queries, you can ask me at any point of time. As teachers, you might have observed present education system and the present students with whom we are interacting. The present education system, which is watertightly compartmentalized into different disciplines or faculty, we call it art, science, commerce, law, medicine, education, etc., etc., is aiming at delivering or dispensing knowledge that is related to a specific field with an intention to prepare them to different job profiles and professions. As a result of that, an engineering student may become very excellently thorough with engineering and may not be that competent with rest of the things. Same is the case with the students who learn economics, political science, sociology, or any art subject may not be inclined towards understanding even the basics of science or engineering, medicine, etc. Therefore, we are living in an educational atmosphere where the knowledge is compartmentalized and people are made to focus on studying specific things, specific issues related to their own fields of knowledge and not having much elaborate, connected approach to knowledge. Knowledge, in the original sense, is everything that is related to our surrounding. Knowledge is an ocean. That too, with the advent of science and technology and IT revolution, knowledge has exploded like anything, and we are living in the era of knowledge, that is knowledge-based world, knowledge-based job, knowledge-based employees is what we are referring to. But despite of that, we have made compartmentalization of the knowledge. We restrict ourselves to focus on one particular field, which leads to lagging in another. So the total development of the person is not happening. A doctor may be excellently prepared to practice medicine. If he don't know the basics of the law of the land, he may indulge in illegal, unlawful activities. Likewise, An engineer may be a very expert in his own field. If he is not having the basics of economics, basics of sociology, he may fail in discharging and completing the project given to him. Therefore, let us make an attempt to understand the present day students and their nature. And if anybody can react, you can react, or otherwise I will first go through and then we can discuss. As I understand, the present day students we are experiencing in the classrooms they are of a different nature. And I am not underestimating them. They are exposed to many things that we were not aware of. They are more advanced in many issues when compared to our generation of students. Therefore, I have made a list of it. The present day students' interpersonal skills are less developed. Interpersonal skills are those that are related to developing relationship with the people. Relationship starts with respecting people, understanding people, caring for people, and knowing the people. The present day people, youngsters, they are highly tech savvy, computer oriented, mobile friendly, but they are not bothered to know about the people around them. As a result, their ability to develop relationship is relatively poor. Followed by that, their computer skills are excellent. They can do multitasking. They can do many jobs at a time with the help of technology, and they are not sensitized. They are desensitized about the emotional issues and the interdependency of people around them. Followed by that, they feel comfortable by challenging anybody. N number of questions are there in their mind. They don't hesitate to question. Easily they will give evaluative reports. They make judgments. They come to the conclusion that somebody is good, somebody is bad on the spur of the moment without going into the details. And more than anything, their expectations are very high. The present day students expect a lot, even from the system, from the teachers, from the government, from the parents. Their expectations are very high, and reaching out to their expectations is a challenge for the teachers. And when it comes to their participation, for everything, they negotiate. They bargain. If you ask them to do it today, they say, give me 2 days time, give me 1 day time, I'm busy with something. Such comments are very common. This is what the trend we can notice with the present day students. And the present education system is one wherein we are testing the capacity of the student based on his ability to remember, reproduce in the examination. And as a result of that, those who can go through the books, read it and remember and reproduce it will get good marks, and we call them good students. Without considering the other dimensions of education, whether they have developed the required attitude, whether they are capable of using this knowledge for problem solving. Unmindful of these two things, we only focus on their ability to reproduce the answers in the examination. And as a result of that, present day students also focus too much on acquiring marks rather than gaining expertise or developing and molding their personalities. Hence, there is a need for relooking at the present day education system, and that could be the reason for making sessions on a holistic and multidisciplinary approach to education. What is this holistic education is all about? Why it is required? As I told you, the present education system lacks an integrated, a comprehensive approach to develop the student's personality, because we focus more on delivering something related to the selected subject and testing their memory power and making them to score marks. In a marks oriented system, there will be little emphasis on personality development. Therefore, to overcome the limitations of the present system, if you think in terms of the holistic education system, I'm not to say that it is absolutely a new approach. This was the approach used in India since centuries. Even in olden times, the days of Puranas and all, we were known for having a system called Gurukula system. Gurukulas are those places where The students are made to learn 64 different types of knowledge and discipline related dimensions. 64 dimensions, we used to say, that includes reading, writing, war related, horse riding, gambling, agriculture, not one. All types of skills were taught in the Gurukula system, and then only when the student convinces the teacher that I'm capable of doing all these things up to your expectations, teachers used to say that you are educated now. But present system is not like that. The present system is only dependent on the student's performance during this 3 hours examination and how they recall their stock of knowledge and reproduce it in the form of writing answers to the questions. Based on that, we call student as successful or failure. Therefore, there is a need to once again bring back the holistic style of preparing the personalities by adopting the positive points of the holistic education system, positive points of the conventional Gurukula type of education system. Now I am to tell you, what is this holistic education? It is a comprehensive approach to impart education where educators seek to address the emotional, social, ethical, and academic needs of the students in an integrated format. When you teach a student, you should have the freedom, you should have the liberty to understand the student's emotion, a student's socio-ethical consideration, and the academic requirements of that student. Say, for instance, when I speak on all these things, India is a country of villages. Majority of our people come from rural background, and majority of our students will get their education in the vernacular regional languages. And many a time we were made to believe that there is a direct relationship between knowledge and the language are the medium of instruction. The medium of instruction just a means. It is not everything. Knowledge is also, knowledge can be anywhere and it is nobody's property. And there is no direct relationship between language and the knowledge. But we were made to believe that one who speaks fluent English is an intelligent person and one who cannot speak English is not so intelligent. Therefore, there is a need to understand what is his background, from where he is coming, what are his priorities. Based on that, we need to educate. At the same time, multidisciplinary approach is one that defines problems beyond and outside the boundaries with the help of various branches of knowledge. As I was telling, an engineering needs the knowledge of economics, sociology, and a doctor also requires the knowledge of law, and a management person requires the knowledge of anthropology, sociology, engineering. There is no limit for that. Therefore, when you go beyond the boundaries of your domain, a literature teacher or a literature student should know everything related to human life. There is no compartmentalization. It should not be like that. But presently we are experiencing that type of issues. To overcome this, we need to adopt the holistic and multidisciplinary education. Multidisciplinary education is a new philosophy or a philosophy that we were practicing and forgotten for some time. What is that philosophy? That philosophy is that every individual finds identity, purpose of thorough connectivity with nature and other human beings. That is to say that our identity depends upon our connectivity with the nature and the community. Every individual is identified based on where is he, to what community, to what human being character that he is demonstrating. When I use the word community, some of you may be thinking very narrowly. Community does not mean the castes or the other system that we are talking. Community means group of people. To what type of group of people he belongs to, what is his ideology, what he believes about the human being, and what is his belief about the nature. Ultimately, education must help an individual to develop appropriate relationship with the nature around him. Nature is everything. To understand the nature, you can learn lot many things. I think it is Wordsworth who said, nature is my teacher. If you observe the nature, look at the nature, you can learn many things that are useful and relevant for you. Nature speaks about the ups and downs, the true and the false. Night and day are nothing but the difficulties and the happy moments.
Just a moment, sir.
Those who understand the nature effectively can understand life easily. That's the philosophy.
Anand, sir.
Education must help the people to connectivity with the society where he is living and the nature where he is living. We talk in terms of environmental protection, eco-friendly approach to life, eco-friendly products, eco-friendly industry, production, etc. That is to safeguard the nature around us.
Sir,
we will be experiencing the hardship of climate change. Climate change has caused a lot of unpredicted contingencies, unpredicted problems to the mankind on the earth.
Sir,
the severe that we are experiencing
sir,
is
just a minute, sir.